Alrighty, ladies, so we're going to get started with LED. We're first going to start with LED, which is light emitting diode. LED or light emitting diode is a device used to reduce acne, increase skin circulation, and improve the collagen content in the skin. LED technology is non-thermal, meaning it does not use heat. LED technology works on the premise of non-thermal, non-ablative cellular stimulation called photomodulation. I apologize. Photomodulation. This action triggers a photobiochemical response versus relying on thermal injury, which is what you would cause when you're using lasers. Estheticians use LED light for skin rejuvenation. LED individual wavelengths are used at low intensity and are not as strong as the laser and intense pulse light modalities. LED uses visible light such as blue, red, or amber, and infrared which is invisible. Different colors of light produce different effects on the skin, and LED has been shown to help the lymph system and increase ATP, energy production in the cell. LED works by releasing light onto the skin to simulate specific responses. At precise depths of the skin, each color of light responds to a different depth in the skin. The LED color of light is also seeking color in the skin, also known as a chemophore. The term chemophore is derived from the Greek term chroma, meaning color. A chromophore is a color component within the skin, such as blood or melanin. When the colored light reaches a specific depth in the skin, it triggers a reaction, such as stimulating circulation or reducing the amount of bacteria. Handheld devices are increasingly popular, and the use of machines, light therapy, and medical aesthetics continues to develop. Scientific discoveries and advances are changing the face of anti-aging industry. So you have the LED treatment, which is a light emitting diode that uses non-ablative, non-heating light source or invisible rays to actually penetrate into the cell and create a particular effect in the skin. So you have red light, yellow light, green light, and blue light, which are going to be the most common. And for each of the lights that you're using, you're creating a different effect or creating a different benefit in the skin. So for red light, you're going to be going between 640 to 660 nanometers, which will increase cellular processes, boost collagen and elastin production, and stimulate wound healing. So great for anti-aging, great for anyone who needs to fight free radicals, great for someone who is having a little bit of elasticity or collagen issues in the skin. This is essentially great for anyone that needs anti-aging effects. You then have a yellow light, which is 575 to 595 nanometers, and it is good for reducing inflammation in the skin. It improves lymphatic flow, detoxifies, and increases circulation. You then have green light, which is 500 to 525 nanometers. It'll lessen hyperpigmentation, reduce redness, and calm and soothe the skin. And blue light between 410 and 450 nanometers, which are going to improve acne, reduce bacteria, and can be used with medications for precancerous lesions. Because precancerous and cancerous, all of that steps into the medical side, I would only dabble into that aspect of LED when working directly with a physician who specializes in oncology. So these are the four main light options that you can choose from. I also like to have a nice little chart. The difference between this chart and the chart that's in your book is it includes a couple of different colors like Canon, and I believe orange is not there, and infrared. But it is not as specific as far as what it is actually benefiting the skin. It's kind of general. So it's the same information. Red light is red light from this chart or from this chart. This is just a nice way of summarizing it to explain to the client. So red light therapy, if you Google red light therapy, the different color charts, it'll actually uh, give you a synopsis of what each color is beneficial for. LED does not necessarily have to add time to a treatment, and it doesn't have to just be done in a full facial treatment. So you can do it as a standalone treatment. Of course, you would need to cleanse, exfoliate, and then perform LED and then dermal layering to protect the skin. But you can do just that as opposed to doing a cleanse, exfoliation, massage, mask, moisturize, and protect. So the contraindications and best practices for LED. The following contraindications, conditions or contraindications for LED treatments. Someone who's currently pregnant, has open or unidentified skin lesions. When in doubt, LED is out. They have a disorder that will cause seizures, autoimmune disorders, clients taking photosynthesizing medications. As with all light therapies, it is important to make certain that you have viewed the client's consultation form for any of the contraindications that may be present. Light therapy should not be performed on anyone who has light sensitivities or photosensitivities, has phototoxic reactions, is currently taking antibiotics, has cancer or epilepsy, is pregnant or undergoing a physician's care. If you are unsure whether you should apply a treatment referring to LED, always refer to the healthcare provider. So LED should otherwise be used on normal, healthy clients that are not pregnant, lactating, has any issues with seizures or current autoimmune disorders, any photosynthesizing medications, any type of photosensitivities. If they have an issue with light, LED is going to be out. If you've never tried it, I recommend trying the LED. It's a nice experience to kind of feel what it feels like, because even with your eyes closed, you can still feel the color. It's crazy to say it that way, but you can still sense what color is on you, and you know that light is on when you're getting LED. So LEDs are used in facials for approximately 15 minutes. Protective eyewear is used to protect both the technician and the client's eyes, and the thyroid area should be covered. The thyroid can be stimulated by the LED device, as demonstrated by the off-label use of red light LED in the treatment of hypothyroidism by physicians. So if a client does have any issues with their thyroid, you want to make sure you're covering it. And the way light therapy works is it's penetrated in through the skin. So anything that reflects light off of it, like product, a mask, the goggles that you see, the tanning goggles, a cotton round or 4x4, anything that bounces light off of it will work to actually protect the client. When I use LED, I would do a 15-minute treatment if I was having the client do it as a add-on in a basic facial. If I was doing LED for a 6-week series or for a treatment, so if I'm trying to lessen their pigmentation, they may come in for 6 weeks for 30 to 45 minutes every week for 6 weeks to get the LED. So the treatment time is going to vary, but 15 minutes is that sweet spot, 30 to 45, no more than 45 when it comes to the LED. Safety and maintenance for the LED machines. You should maintain the LED machine according to the manufacturer's instructions. The machines and protective eyewear should be disinfected after each use, but you want to make sure that you are using your EPA disinfectant not directly on the device. So you're going to use your EPA and spray a paper towel or a towel, wipe the device down, and then with a clean paper towel or towel, wipe the device down again. Same with the cords. It's also important that you keep the LED away from any type of fire element, obviously with any type of machinery, but especially with the LED, you don't want it next to a furnace or a fireplace or anything that heats, because you are using the light. So the IPL is penetrating into the skin. You don't want to use any type of heating mechanism next to that. You also don't want to have the steamer going when performing LED. It's one or the other. If you're steaming the skin to prepare it for extractions or to prepare it for product penetration, you shouldn't be also doing LED. Another good thing to note is that the skin should be clean and dry. So you don't want anything on the skin that reflects light away. The benefit of LED is that it's actually going to penetrate into the skin up to the level that it needs to in order to produce the desired effect. If there's anything on the skin, the light is bouncing off of it and they're not getting any benefits. The LED is one of my favorite upgrades because it doesn't add any product to my bottom line, so it doesn't cost me more to use it, and consistent use is scientifically proven to actually benefit and help the skin. When I send out this protocol version and the recap of this video, I'm also going to link to the best LED light therapy device that I've ever worked with, that I've ever come across. Now, this was years back, so they could have competition, but for me, Celluma is the best light therapy that I've ever come across. It is expensive for their device. I don't think I have a picture here. It's expensive for their device, but when I tell you that it absolutely produces results, I mean it. They have face ones, they have ones that you can use for full body. It's incredible. LED is great for overall anti-aging, but recovery. You saw some of the benefits included reduction in pigmentation issues. It will reduce inflammation. It will help with lymphatic flow. It's gonna calm and soothe the skin. It's gonna boost collagen and elastin. It's gonna stimulate wound healing. So I like to call LED like my Mr. Fix-It, right? If I'm doing a treatment and I create a problem in the skin, I overexfoliate and it's irritated, or I do a chemical peel and it's a little bit irritated, or they get some type of burn from a wax, I like to do a LED treatment complimentary as my Mr. Fix-It, because it's going to stimulate that wound healing and reduce the amount of time the client's actually suffering with an issue. So LED is one of those powerhouse devices that you absolutely want to come and know the use of it. I'm also going to link that here. So we have the Celluma for everyone who wants to look into it. We've got the red light chart that we are going to screenshot, and I will also include that into the protocol. So let's just do that. If you are at home right now, or if you are not able to take notes, feel free to screenshot that and add it to your notes later on, but it will be in the overall protocol. And then from there, we'll go through the actual step-by-step for it. Dang, those prices, I know. You looked at the prices already, it's crazy. They're so expensive, but I promise you, it is a strong, effective device. And by saying that, you can get much cheaper LED devices, because the length of the LED of the light is the length of the light, right? So you can get a cheaper device. Like, we have inexpensive LEDs at the Academy. The problem is they are not nearly as not effective, but they're not nearly as quality, so they're not going to last nearly as long. Yeah, $299 to $15,000. I bet the $15,000 is probably the body treatment one. But if you're getting results and you can charge, $100 a session for LED. I know a young lady that I used to work with when I lived in Dallas, and she charged, I think, $125 for a package of LEDs. You had to buy 6, so it was $125 a pop, and it was a 45-minute session. She brought them into her treatment room. She did a cleanse. She exfoliated them every other week, and then she put them under the LED for 30 minutes, and she left the room and worked on another client. So she was making, twice as much in the same hour and 15 minutes, because she didn't have to touch the client's skin. But what would be a huge difference you have seen that you think is better than the typical one on Amazon, like effects on the client wise? None. No effect on the client wise. I have not noticed that the LED has created, the cheaper device versus the Celluma created a better outcome. I will say that the difference that I know is that the young lady who was using it consistently for her clients, she used the Celluma and she made her clients do 6 sessions back to back. So what I would recommend is doing a case study, finding 2 to 3 clients who can get LED every week, or even if you want to do each other while you're in the program, Both of you get LED for 6 weeks, once a week, 30 minutes on a particular color, and see if you are, if the results are at the level that you would want to charge for it. If not, then you can upgrade the device to something more expensive like the Saluma. But from experience and seeing someone use it consistently, I know the Saluma works. Violet, I will get you clocked in just a second. Thank you. I want to go through the step-by-steps of actually using the LED. So the skin should be clean and dry. Some other little notes is that the skin should not have any product. So clean and dry and no product. So I know that those are like the same thing, but what I'm saying is no, you can't put a face mask on the client's skin, even a clear one. It's no point. No product on the skin, and it needs to be clean. So you need to do the cleanse first, and it needs to be dry. Another note is that you want to cover my thyroid area with anything that will reflect light. You can literally use a black towel to cover that area. Anything covered is not being treated by LED. So you want to be cautious of that. Anything covered is not being treated by LED. You also want to make sure that you have protective goggles for your client. So protective. Maxwell goggles. And then you can also wear protective goggles at the same time. You can put on like a sunglass or a light blocking glass when the LED treatment is actually going. What I recommend is after you've done the service and you're about to set the client for LED, set the client up for LED, and then I get from behind them if I'm using the dome LED. Go to images so I can show you the difference. So if I'm using an LED that's shaped like this, well, this one has a back on it. So that's actually pretty nice because the light will only come out of the front, and since you're behind them, you won't see it. But let's say an LED like the kind we have at the school. There's no back to it, so you, the esthetician, need to protect your eyes because you'll be able to see it. What I recommend, if you don't want to put on a sunglass or anything, that's a perfect 15 to 30-minute opportunity for you to get up and go and do your prepping and your cleaning for the tools and implements that you used at the beginning part of the facial. But you want to make sure you're not directly looking in that light. So the step-by-steps for LED, you're going to do the basic steps of the facial. So basic steps of the facial. After the skin is prepped, in whatever way you're prepping it. So you might do cleansing and exfoliation and extractions. You may do cleansing and exfoliating. You may do cleansing. It's just going to depend on what you're actually trying to treat. So once the skin is prepped, you're going to cover the client's eyes with cotton rounds. And let me just caveat damp cotton rounds. And then you're going to also cover the eyes with tanning goggles. Have everyone seen the tanning goggles? I'm going to pull them up just so that we can be 100% clear on what I'm talking about. Tanning goggles like this. That black light and the plastic, because its color is present, it is going to reflect the light off of it, so that eye area is not going to be impacted by the LED, which is what you want. The eye area is very sensitive. You want to protect it. Same with the thyroid. I like to get the ones that don't have the strap on them because the black strap will reflect light. So essentially you wouldn't be treating everything under that. So I like to get the type that just pop on. That's a better example. The strap has been removed. We put the cotton rounds, mold them to the eye, place the tanning goggles right on top, helps them out. Yeah, I would do a 4x4 over cotton rounds, because if they have lash extensions, you don't want to mess them up. So let's do, if they have lashes, 4x4s. Very good catch. No, that was right. Rounds. Perfect. If they have lashes, use 4x4s. Why is rounds auto-correcting to... Okay. We're gonna let it make it. Once you've protected the client's eyes, then you are going to set up your LED device away from the client. So set up device and turn on away from client. And then once you've set up the device and turned it on away from the client, you're going to give them the warning. The warning can be more detailed or less detailed. What I say is, okay, we'll start LED treatment. We are using X color for X time. I have covered we'll bring the light over. Now, please keep your eyes closed at all times, even though they're covered. So even though they are covered, you may still feel and or see the light. Just keep your eyes covered. Just keep the eyes closed. I also let them know if at any point it's uncomfortable. If you're going to do LED and you step out of the room, you should be checking on your client. There's no reason for you to leave the room for 20 minutes at a time. So if you step out of the room, drop your things off in the sink or wherever it may be, clean them real quick, 2 to 5 minutes away, come back and monitor that client. Otherwise, you can open the door so that you can hear the client, but you just want to give them the disclaimer. We're using, give them the warning, okay, we'll start your LED treatment. We're using X color for X time. I've covered your eyes and we'll bring the light over now. And then I'm gonna bring the light over. Please keep your eyes closed at all times. Even though they are covered, you may still feel or see the light. Just keep your eyes closed. And then if at any point you get uncomfortable, please let me know and we'll end the treatment. Once you've given them the disclaimer, you've brought over the light, it's already set for the time because you set it in advance. The light's already going. It will count down. Most machines, I've never seen one that didn't have a timer on it, will shut off once it's done. And then you will move on to the rest of the facial as normal. So once done, if you are not doing a regular facial and you're just doing LED, so you just cleansed, exfoliated LED or you cleansed LED, I would always do the dermal layering. So we're always going to end with serum, toner. Let me put it in the order it's supposed to go. Toner, serum, moisturizer, SPF. Even if it's night, even if they only got an LED treatment, you are always going to dermal layer to protect the client's skin from the outside elements. It does you no good to do LED on, let's say, green, because we're trying to work on pigmentation, and then the client leave without sunscreen, because the sun is just going to make the pigmentation that's there worse and make them prone to more pigmentation as that sun damage takes effect. So you're always going to protect the skin after an LED treatment. Does anybody have any questions on LED? How to do it, what each one of the colors stands for, the disclaimer to give your client, what should be on the skin. Okay, if you need to, again, this is chapter 13, advanced topics and treatments, page 644. Feel free to read through it. It's not very much information because again, it's just light therapy. You've got a few contraindications. When in doubt, leave LED out, but essentially you use the light, you protect the client's eyes, you make sure that you're selecting a color that is going to create the benefit that the client needs. So if they have acne, you're going to go with blue. If they have anti-aging issues that we're trying to combat, we're going to go with red. If we are trying to work on their complexion, we're going to go with green. And if we are trying to alleviate redness or irritation from sunburn, rosacea, treatment that we may have done that was a little too much, we can go in with yellow. LED is my Mr. Fix It. It's my, oops, something went wrong. I'm going to turn to LED so that my client leaves that treatment room already healing, already working through the process of their cells repairing that area. So I will end LED here, and then I will pause and we will go to the next one.